that you have two roots. Okay, I have two roots, and the roots are 2 and 3. Oops, we're going to write it this way. 2, 0, 3, 0. Those are my two roots. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is put it in factored form because I think that's easiest. Factored form, I know it's x minus 2 and x minus 3. I know it's the opposite sign of whatever those are. That equals f of x or y. Okay, ready for standard form? Yep. Factored form, remember it's x minus or plus, x minus or plus, multiplied together. Okay? Here's standard form. We're going to just multiply them together. You can FOIL, or I like the box method. It does not matter if you put x minus 2 on the side instead of on the top. You can reverse it. I get x squared minus 2x minus 3x. 2 times 3 is 6. Now I'm going to write it out. X squared goes first. Then can I put negative 3x and negative 2x together? What do I get? Plus 6. That's standard form.
Why is it negative 2 and negative 3? Oh.
Because it's a negative 2 and a negative 3. Okay. Vertex form. This is where it gets a little complicated. I like to give myself a little rough graph. I know the roots go like this. So my graph looks there. I know the vertex has to be right in the middle. So what's right in the middle between 2 and 3? 2.5. So my x value is 2.5. That's also my axis of symmetry. That's where it's symmetrical on each side. I know it's between 2 and 3 is 2.5. How did I know to put these graphs? Because I know the roots are 2, 0, and 3, 0. And I make a U-shape. Okay, so my x value is 2.5. How am I going to find my y value? Okay, well, I know I could just stick it into my standard form. 2.5 squared minus 5 times 2.5 plus 6 is going to give me my y value for my vertex form, which is going to be negative 0.25. So my vertex is 2.5 negative 0.25. And we know that vertex form is f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. There's no number in front of my standard form, so there's no number in front of my a. Okay? So I'm going to go x minus 2.5 squared minus 0.25 is my vertex form. And if you don't get vertex form, don't worry about it. It's going to be extra credit on your homework quiz, okay? And we'll work more with that. Yes? Okay, so this is my formula for vertex form, right? I found my x value because I knew it had to be right in between my two roots. Then I stuck my x value into standard form. So literally wherever I saw an x, I put 2.5 in that standard form and found out that my y was negative 0.25. And then I just stuck it into the equation. Questions about this before we move on?
Are the roots always going to be like a number and 0?
Because what is a root? It's where it crosses what axis? It crosses x, so y has to be 0 on that point. Does that make sense? I like to think of them as like x-axis is like the ground, and they're where the roots of the tree go under, right? Makes me think of it that way. Yes, Brady. I plugged the x value, which is in between the two roots, into standard form, and that came out with negative 0.25. Okay, I know you guys don't have this in front of you, but Michelle, did you have a question real quick?
Well, I was going to ask about how you found an A value, but then I just remembered that it had to do something like there's a number in front of the x squared.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
whatever.
So, tomorrow we're gonna work out a lot on when you have a table being able to find the A value, but we haven't done that yet, so I wouldn't give you one with an A value. Okay. All right. And if I gave you the two roots, you might not necessarily be able to tell if there's an A value. Okay. This is your work that you're going to do in class. 1 through 5, you have to get done in class. Okay? So, what you're going to do, we've talked about vertex. We've talked about what's the line of symmetry or the axis of symmetry, guys? That's the x value of your vertex, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So literally, you want to take your graphing calculator to do this. Oh my goodness. Okay. So in blue, I graphed y equals x squared. I found the vertex and the axis of symmetry, that x value. And then for number 2, I put in the equation. And I found the vertex, the line of symmetry, if the graph was open up or down, and if it moved to the right, left, up, or down, and if it was narrower or bigger. Okay? So that's all you're doing. You're answering all those questions, but I would always leave the y equals x squared in there, and then answer the questions based on that. Ethan, did you have a question?
How you have 2 graphs on one?
You just hit enter and it'll pop up another one. Okay, and there'll be different colors. I wouldn't have like 5 graphs on there at the end. I would keep deleting that number 2